Welcome to Veridical Ed. Web3 and blockchain technology are completely reshaping global finance, security, and digital ownership in the 2026-2027 economy. If you think blockchain is just a passing trend, you're missing out on some of the highest-paying technical contracts in the entire freelance world. Stay locked in right here because mastering Web3 development will instantly set you apart as an elite, high-earning digital architect.
All right, so here is our masterclass blueprint for today. We're going to cover the Web3 freelance landscape, dive into the core tools and ecosystems you need, break down the client project workflow, talk monetization and pricing strategies, and finally, we'll get into deploying your very first smart contract. Let's get right into it.
Section 1, the Web3 freelance landscape and those unprecedented high-ticket opportunities. Look, the 2026 to 2027 digital market, it is moving faster than literally anything we've seen before. If you look at the saturated Web2 freelance market, it's pretty rough out there. Most developers are fighting tooth and nail over low-ticket contracts, scrapping for maybe 40 or 50 bucks an hour. But then you look over at the high-ticket tokenized Web3 economy, and it's a completely different ballgame. You aren't just a coder anymore, you're an elite digital architect. The crazy thing is, the talent supply is still super low, but the capital flowing in is astronomically high. We're talking retainers that easily command hundreds of dollars an hour. No joke. So what's actually fueling this massive wealth transfer? Well, it boils down to three main market drivers: decentralized technologies, smart contracts, and tokenized economies. These three forces are creating a level of demand we just haven't seen before. Global enterprises are practically begging for experts who can secure their decentralized finance and digital ownership. It's really simple. Master these three drivers, and you can completely stop chasing clients because the market is going to start coming directly to you. Moving on to Section 2, core tools and ecosystems, and how you can actually dominate the current market. Now, before you can start commanding those high-ticket rates, you've absolutely got to master your technical toolkit, right? Right now, there are three pillars that completely dominate the ecosystem. First up, we've got smart contract platforms. Think of these as the foundational bedrock for writing the core logic of any decentralized application. Second, there are DeFi protocols. These are the financial engines that drive the entire tokenized economy. And third, we have cross-chain frameworks.
Let's actually zero in on that last one. Cross-chain development frameworks are essentially tools that enable interoperability and seamless data transfer across distinct blockchain networks. Back in the early days, blockchains were basically isolated islands. They didn't really talk to each other. Today, being able to connect them securely is arguably the highest paying skill a freelancer can possess. Seriously, when you consider that billions, yes, billions with a B, of dollars have been lost to poorly coded cross-chain bridges over the last few years, you realize why clients are willing to pay absolute top dollar. They need developers who can bridge their assets without introducing massive vulnerabilities.
All right, Section 3, the client project workflow, your blueprint for decentralized applications. It's time to shift gears from theory to execution. We need a practical, repeatable blueprint that you can use for global clients. It's a straightforward four-step loop. Step 1, you architect the application's logic to hit those financial goals. Step 2, you test it. Rigorously tested in controlled, simulated environments. Step 3 is the audit. Guys, this is absolutely non-negotiable. A single vulnerability in a smart contract can literally drain millions of dollars in a matter of seconds, so you have to be meticulous here. And finally, Step 4, deploy the dApp to the live network. This four-step loop, that is your entire professional life cycle right there. But here's the best part. By doing this, you're ultimately architecting your own financial independence. This isn't just some technical workflow, it's a high-level business strategy. When you walk into a meeting and present this exact audit-heavy workflow to a prospective client, you're showing them that you aren't just selling hours of coding. You're selling security, you're selling reliability, you're bringing elite expertise to the table. And honestly, that kind of positioning is exactly what justifies a premium price tag. Which leads us perfectly into Section 4, monetization and pricing strategies, or how you should be packaging your value. Now, if you want to maximize your freelance revenue, you really need to choose between two primary pricing models. On one hand, you've got project-based contracts. These are perfect when you're building a specific decentralized app from scratch, and they pay out in large, high-ticket milestones. On the other hand, we have long-term consulting retainers. This model transitions you into more of an ongoing advisory role, where you might be guiding a traditional company through their continuous blockchain integration. The secret sauce here is intelligently packaging your elite skills into whichever of these lucrative agreements makes the most sense for the client's specific needs. Of course, to actually land those lucrative retainers, you need to offer high-value services. Web3 development builds that technical foundation. Smart contract auditing, that commands a massive premium because, like we said earlier, it essentially acts as an insurance policy against catastrophic financial risk. And then there's blockchain integration, which is all about bringing massive Web2 companies into the new economy. Let me tell you, mastering these three services instantly elevates you way above the standard freelance crowd. All right, let's bring it all together in Section 5, your first smart contract. This is our actionable masterclass exercise. We've covered the landscape, the tools, the workflow, and the pricing. Now it's time for you to step into the role of a professional in training and take immediate action. Here's your homework. Number 1, write the core logic of a basic smart contract. Number 2, test that logic to verify absolutely flawless execution. And number 3, deploy it on a modern testnet. If you haven't used one, a testnet is just a safe, simulated sandbox where you can get your hands dirty today without risking real funds or paying real gas fees. Doing this is what takes you straight from being a passive observer to an active builder.
And that brings us to our final and honestly most important question. Are you going to remain passive, or are you ready to deploy your first contract and architect your elite Web3 career? Look, the 2026 to 2027 digital economy is not going to sit around waiting for anyone to catch up. So take action on this exercise today. Build up that technical toolkit and go claim your space at the very top of the freelance market. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Now, go build the future.